Good afternoon. My name is Larry Klayman. You know me as the founder of Judicial Watch and later Freedom Watch. I'm currently the chairman and general counsel of Freedom Watch, but I'm talking to you today in my private capacity as a private lawyer. You know that I represent Clive Bundy in that famous standoff that occurred at Bunkerville, Nevada several years ago, where the government came in under President Obama, then corrupt Senator Harry Reid, and tried to seize his land to try to sell it to the Chinese, to sell it to some other interest. And in fact, many ranchers in that area have lost their land because of heavy-handed tactics by the federal government. The federal government claims to own 90% of the land in Nevada. Now, how can you be a state if the federal government owns all of that land? And in fact, Clive stood up to that, and he said, I don't owe grazing fees to the federal government. If I have to pay them at all, I have to pay them to the state of Nevada, which owns that land legally. Now, he went to court. He was representing himself. Probably it would have been better if he had a lawyer, and the judge issued an order saying that, in fact, the federal government owned the land. Well, after that, the government used that as a pretext to bust into his ranch, which his family has raised as a ranch for 150 years, and to attempt to seize his cattle. When he protested, he was beaten up. In fact, his life was threatened, his family was threatened, and when they resisted, his daughter, his sister Margaret, was thrown to the ground, assaulted. His two sons were violently tased. His dog was also attacked, and several cattle were killed and buried in a secret mass grave. Well, people from around the country came to protest that, and they used their Second Amendment rights, and they didn't hurt the hair on anybody's head. But 2 years later, under Obama, Clive Bundy, his sons, and about 17 others were indicted for standing up to the federal government. This trial is going on in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's got a judge that was handpicked by the corrupt Senator Harry Reid, and you've got a situation where the federal prosecutor there, the acting U.S. attorney, is part of this Obama-Clinton deep state and basically wants to hang Clive and put him away for life. Well, Clive is going to trial in about a month and a half. I've been kept out of the case. I'm still fighting to get in. He doesn't even have a complete defense team, Clive Bundy, because the judge doesn't like me. She's from Maricopa County. She went to school there, law school there. She knows I represented Sheriff Joe Arpaio. She's a leftist. She doesn't like my conservative views, and she frankly hates Clive and the people around him. And consequently, there have been a lot of really prejudicial rulings in every aspect of this case. Clive was first thrown in solitary confinement. He was denied a speedy trial. You're entitled to that as a defendant. He's been denied his right of counsel to choose me. There have been rulings made in earlier cases with related defendants that are very prejudicial and keep key evidence out. Documents have been withheld by this prosecutor and the federal government. And documents dealing with the standoff. We don't have everything we need to defend ourselves. It's a terrible, terrible situation. I even filed a Freedom of Information Act request, and the FBI comes back because they're part of the investigation of what happened at Bunkerville, and they said, we'll produce the documents in 41 years. Well, we'll be long dead by then, everybody in this case. And I filed an Inspector General complaint to find out what's going on. Now, why is this case important? Because Clive stood up to a tyrannical federal government. Even if you owe the government money, and he claims he doesn't, it doesn't give the government the right to come in and threaten the lives of your family, to beat up your sister, to tase your sons, to harm your dog, and to kill your cattle. This is what King George III did, leading up to the days of the Revolution on July 4th, 1776, when we declared independence. Clive is standing there for you. He's standing there for the principles that we fought this country. We fought for to create this country. And we need your strong support. Now, I've gone to Attorney General Jeff Sessions. I haven't talked to him, and I said, please review this case. And we get no action here. And just the last few days, he makes a statement supporting the prosecutor in this case that has committed a lot of prosecutorial misconduct. And he's supportive, and he says he's doing a good job. But on the other hand, he also says he's not taking sides. Well, you know what? The Attorney General needs to take sides. We've simply asked him to review the case to see whether it should proceed. So I hope that you will contact the Attorney General of the United States, Jeff Sessions, at the Justice Department. Write to him. Tell him he needs to review it. I didn't tell him how to come out, but he needs to put this thing on hold to find out what's going on before another injustice is committed. This case began under Obama and Loretta Lynch, and we know all about them. And they hate Cliven, and they hate everything he stands for, and he's still being destroyed. So go to ClivenBundyDefenseFund.org. Contribute to Cliven Bundy's defense fund. He needs legal representation. He needs to have a defense team. He's standing there for you because yesterday it was Cliven who had the federal government under Obama bust into his house, so to speak. Before that, it was our founding fathers that had to King George do the same thing. And tomorrow it'll be you. And if we don't stand up for Cliven Bundy, we don't stand up for the principles that this country was founded upon. And we don't stand up for our republic. So go to ClivenBundyDefenseFund.org, contribute to his defense fund, learn about what we're doing, and stand there as a true American. God bless you. God bless America. God save America. Thank you.